Guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make liquid Coca Cola pens and keychains. If you're new to KimspiredDIY, welcome. If you'd like to see more fun DIYs, please click that subscribe button. So to get started, you will need these two printables, one of the full bottle and one of the outline. I will leave a link down below to where you can find both of these. Next, you will need these crystal clear Shrinky Dinks. Place a Shrinky Dink film on top of the printable, secure that with a piece of tape, and then start tracing around the bottles. Here is what you should have after you've traced both of those out. Next, you will need the outline printable. Secure a piece of Shrinky Dink on top of that and trace it out. Here is what the outline should look like. Now you will just want to cut those all out, so you should end up with two full bottles and one outline. With the outline bottle, I'm just going to cut a little piece off at the top. Place the cutout bottle on a piece of parchment paper and then bake that in the oven according to the package instructions. You will want to follow the same procedure with the other bottle as well. For the outline Shrinky Dink, once that starts shrinking, it will actually start to not shape into a bottle. So what I did was I took a couple of skewers and I just shaped it back into the shape of a bottle. Hopefully that makes sense. So now that they're shrunk down, I just wanted to explain the reason why I'm going to use the Shrinky Dinks. As you can see, if you just left it on a plastic sheet, it is very flimsy, whereas when you shrink it down, it becomes a hard plastic that you can't bend. It also allows for the liquid to move through the bottle once it's all put together. Next, I'm going to use this GO2 glue, which is water resistant and crystal clear. Take the outlined bottle, apply some of the glue to one side, and then press one of the solid bottles to that. With some clothespins or clamps, you want to clamp those together. And the reason why you want to do that, it gets out all the air bubbles and makes sure that they are pressed together and makes it watertight. And the reason why I didn't want to put a book on top of these is because I wanted to make sure that I didn't see any air bubbles. Here is what mine looked like after I had all the clothespins on it. And here is another one that I used the little clamps on. Once that is dry, you can remove the clothespins. I would actually let it dry overnight to make sure that the glue has completely set. Now it's time to add the other side of the bottle. So I just applied glue along the outline, stuck those together, and used the clothespins again to make sure that there was no air bubbles. Here is mine after it had dried overnight. To make the liquid, I'm going to use soap and 9 drops of red food coloring and 7 drops of green food coloring. And the reason why I'm using soap is because I like when you move it around, it gives it that bubbly effect, kind of like soda. Once all those things are in the cup, I just mix those together. Now this part can get a little messy. What you want to do is you want to just start slowly adding your liquid to the opening until it is about halfway full. And here is what it should look like at this point. To seal the opening on the top, I'm going to use this clear silicone, and the reason why I'm not using the glue is because it will drip down whereas the silicone won't. So with a toothpick, I just pushed a little bit into the hole and then smeared it along the top so it was closed up. Make sure to let that dry before moving the liquid around. Now while that is drying, you can make the bottle cap. So I'm just going to use some red polymer clay. I rolled it into a ball, flattened it out, and then with a piece of tin foil, I'm going to put that over the top, and then I'm going to cut out a piece of the polymer clay and start molding that into a bottle cap shape. Here is what mine looked like after I was done molding it. With a toothpick, I'm going to carefully push that underneath to remove it so I can put it in the oven and bake it. So the one that I just showed you will be for the pen. If you want to make a keychain, you follow the same procedures, except for in the top of this one, you want to take a toothpick and poke a hole through it and then bake it according to the package instructions. Here is my keychain one after it had baked. I'm going to take one of these big jump rings, push it through the hole, and then close that up. I'm going to use the same glue as before, applying some of that to the inside and then sticking that to the bottle. And here is my pen one after it had baked. So I'm just going to do the same thing, apply the glue and attach it to the bottle. I just printed out a label that I found online. I applied some glue to the back of that and then attached it to the bottle. I added the keychain attachment and my Coca Cola keychain was complete. To make the pen, you will need one of these Bic pens. Remove the ink from the pen and then measure off how big or how small you would like your pen. Once you've determined the length, then just cut that off with an X-Acto knife. With an X-Acto knife, make 2 notches in the bottom of the pen. Once the notches are made, it should look something like this. Test to make sure that your bottle fits into the 2 notches that you made. Place the ink back into the pen. Mark off with a Sharpie to just where you see the notches. And then with some scissors, you want to trim down the ink barrel. And with some hot glue, just apply that on the top so the pen doesn't leak. Place the pen back together, and with the same glue as before, apply some of that to the pen, and then stick the bottle into the 2 notches and let that dry. I hope you guys enjoyed this video tutorial. I would love it if you gave this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more fun DIYs, please click that subscribe button. Until next time, I hope you all have an amazing day.